and welcome to Physics with Amol sir. In this video we are going to see an introduction to class 9 physics. So till 8th standard what you had one teacher who was teaching you all the lessons in science, but now in 9th class we are going to divide your syllabus into 3 parts: physics, chemistry and biology. Correct? So I will be teaching you the physics part. So, but before we start with the lessons, what I want to do is I want to teach some introductory parts. Correct? Some basics that we need to know before we start with our syllabus for class 9. So what is the first thing we need to know? In physics, there is a lot of measurements. Correct? Any topic that we have in physics, anything that we want to define, simply definitions are not enough. We need to be able to do the measurement of that particular property. Okay? That is why measurements are a very integral part of physics studies. And to be able to do the measurements, there are some concepts that are very important to understand. So let us see those concepts. The first concept is physical quantity. What is meant by a physical quantity? Property of any material that you can measure, that is called as a physical quantity. What is the meaning? I have a water bottle with me. Correct? If I tell you, can you measure the mass of this water bottle? Definitely yes. You can measure the mass and you will find the mass to be somewhere around 1 kg, suppose. So mass is something that you can measure. Therefore mass is a physical quantity. Or you can measure the capacity, that is volume of that water bottle. And if you measure the volume, you will find out it is close to 1 liter. So volume is also a physical quantity. Or you look at a person and you say that person is 6 feet tall. So the height of the person or length of a person. So length is a physical quantity. Okay. So any property that you can measure, that is called as a physical quantity. If you cannot measure that quantity, it is not a physical quantity. For example, we say I am feeling very happy today. Correct? Happiness is not a physical quantity because we cannot measure it. Anything you can measure is a physical quantity. Okay? And in physics, in science, there are many physical quantities. We need to know these physical quantities so that we can better define a particular phenomena. We can define something that is happening. Okay? So physical quantities are very essential for the study of physics. Correct? Now, when we talk about physical quantities, we divide into 2 parts. There are some quantities which are called as scalar quantities and the other one is called as vector quantities. Now, what are meant by scalar quantities? Quantities which can be completely defined only with their magnitude. Now, what is magnitude, you will ask? Magnitude means the numerical value. For example, I have a box of onions, for example, and the onions is having a mass of 5 kg. Correct? So 5 is the magnitude of the mass. Clear? Or we say again the height of a person. We say a person is 6 feet tall. So 6 becomes the magnitude. Okay? So the numerical value of a quantity we call as the magnitude. So there are quantities which you can define completely only with their magnitudes, that we are going to call as the scalar quantities. But there are some quantities where magnitude alone is not enough. We need to know the direction. For example, we say force. Correct? We have applied some amount of force on an object. After applying the force, the object is going to move in a particular direction. So when we want to define force, we need to know the direction as well. Such quantities are called as vector quantities. Okay. So once again, quantities which can be defined only with the magnitudes will be called as scalars. Quantities which need magnitude as well as direction so that we can define them, these quantities are called as vectors. As we go along, we are going to see this particular topic in more detail. For now, just understand the concept. Next, along with scalars and vectors, physical quantities need one more thing, that is called as the unit. Without the unit, we cannot understand a particular quantity. For example, we want to go to the market, we want to buy rice. Correct? So what we say? We say give me 2 kg of rice. We don't say give me 2 rice. Correct? That will not make sense. So we have to say 2 kg. So kg is the unit. 2 is the magnitude and kg is the unit. Correct? So unit will give us, unit explains to us the particular physical quantity along with the magnitude. Or for example, we say we want to travel from Tiruvannamalai to Chennai. We say the distance between Tiruvannamalai to Chennai is 200 kilometers approximately. So 200 is the magnitude, kilometer is the unit. Okay, so any physical quantity, to define any kind of physical quantity, you will need the magnitude as well as the units. Okay, these are very, very important. So when we are studying physics, we need to have the knowledge of quantities. We need to know whether the quantity is a scalar quantity or vector quantity, and next thing we need to know the units. Now we are having different type of systems of units. Correct? So as science progressed, as people went on experimenting, different kind of units were invented. Earlier there was a unit called as FPS. Correct? The system of units was called as FPS. FPS means foot, pound, second. So in the FPS system, you will measure length of an object in foot or feet. That normally we do when we are talking about the height of a person. We say 6 feet, we say 5.5 feet. Correct? So that is the part of FPS system. In FPS system, the mass is measured in pounds. So if you see countries like America, there the mass will always be measured in pounds. Correct? And time is measured in seconds. That is the FPS system. The other system is called as CGS system. In CGS system, we measure length in centimeters, mass in grams, and time in seconds. That is the CGS system. But see what happens if different countries are using different kind of systems, it becomes a problem in the scientific community. If a person is doing some experiments in India, correct, and he wants to send the data, he wants to send the information to some other person who is working in America, for example. Correct? They need to have the same kind of units, because if I make the measurements in centimeters, there somebody else makes the measurements in inches, that is going to have a problem. Correct? So what scientists decided, that we will have a uniform system, and that uniform system is called as the SI system of units, International System of Units. So in SI system, and that is the system we are going to follow. Okay? All the measurements that we do, all the numericals that we do, that all the quantities that we are going to study, we are going to follow the SI system. In the SI system, length will be measured in meters. Remember, length could mean anything. The length of a notebook, correct? The height of a wall, height of a building, height of a person, or distance between 2 points. Okay, so length will always be measured in meters in the SI system. Next is mass. Mass will be measured in kilograms. Remember, in the SI system, mass is measured in kilograms. And then time. Time is measured in seconds. Okay, so this is the SI system. We are going to follow the SI system in all our lectures, in all our topics. Okay, whenever you will be solving any numericals, remember to write the SI units. Okay, so just for a recap, SI system of units is the international system. In that, length is measured in meters, mass is measured in kilograms, and time is measured in seconds. Okay, so this is the basics. You need to understand the physical quantities, you need to know what are scalars and vectors, and you need to know the system of units. We'll see more about this in the next class.